Hello, everyone. Dr. Lynn here, coming to you from Bentonville, Arkansas. This is Becoming Non-Anonymous, the road show. So I'm going to show you how to turn your addiction into a recovery superpower, one power tip at a time. I'm going to have a seat right here. BTW, Bentonville, Arkansas, claims to be the mountain bike or bike capital of the United States. How about that? So I've been riding my bike around. This is one of the paved trails that they have here. And this is in one of the tunnels, and these are these beautiful murals. So I thought, it's a great location to shoot my next video. So if you've been following along, this is Power Tip or episode number 5. All right, so my first one on the road, and you're here to join me. So first things first, power tip number 5 is actually called, what about the signs, right? So how much of our recovery is about noticing the signs that are speaking to us? So here we are. The big sign behind us, it's a giant flower, but all the way up here from San Antonio, Texas, especially in western Arkansas, I saw so many signs and crosses that were all about Jesus. A lot of believers on that western coast and up here in Bentonville. So each one of my episodes comes in 2 parts. The first one, part 1 is do. I want to do something with you. And then part 2, I'll actually explain how this connects to what about all these signs that are coming at us in our recovery. So the 3 things that I've learned about signs in recovery, I call it the AMA of signs, is awareness, the meaning, and then the action. AMA, awareness, meaning, and action. More about that later. But I couldn't help when I thought about signs to think about sign language. And sign language is so much about signals and signs and meanings and words and emotions that go with our hands. So you know I'm into the yoga and Tai Chi, so I wanted to show you a little bit from my yoga practice, and I want to give a shout out to Durga Leela. If you guys want to check out more about yoga of recovery, I took a course called Healing the Habits That Bind, Life-Changing, and I got this hand mudra from my training with Durga Leela. So go ahead and check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about the importance of the hands, right? The signs, the signals, and the meanings, that nonverbal language. But sign language communication, right? That's applause. But you know what it means when somebody gives you 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up, thumbs down, or how about okay, or they clench their fists. Or what do open hands mean, right? They convey all this meaning. So I don't know if you've ever seen people sit like I'm sitting, an easy cross leg, and they sit with their fingers and hands like this. So in yoga, hand gestures or signs are called hand mudras. So I'm going to call them signs or signals, whatever is more comfortable, especially if you're not familiar with yoga, and that's just fine. So I'm going to relate this all to recovery, yes? All right, so you've seen this, right? Have you ever wondered why people sit in this easy cross leg or lotus position is a little more advanced with their fingers like this? Well, this actual gesture is air. It connects you to the air element and the 7th chakra on top of your head, and it helps you transcend the body, right? To find that blissful state, that meditation state. Well, I don't know about you, but when I was actively using and at the beginning of recovery, I didn't need to leave my body anymore. I couldn't even fathom the idea of transcending, or this idea of lightness and airiness and leaving of the body. I was just trying to catch a break and a breath of what does it feel like to be in my body, and not trying to get outside through the use of alcohol. So for me, one of the things that I learned is to turn the hands down. So taking that hand gesture and just flipping it over. That helps you become more grounded in the body, into that first chakra. Matter of fact, you can take your hands, I know you can't see them, and put them down on the earth and actually really connect to Mother Earth. All right, so just that idea of being grounded and supported and aware of just being in your body. I find that a much more comfortable place to start. But if you're more comfortable like this, maybe you want to transcend and leave more naturally, get a more natural high. So anyway, this is a sign or a symbol or a hand gesture for that. Or you can flip it over and start off a little more grounded and connected to the first chakra. So first or seventh. But there's 5 in between. And I'm going to show you a couple more about the heart and the throat chakra here in a minute. All right, so let's talk more about hand signs or language. And the next one is kind of the cupping or the cradling of the hands. And this is a hand mudra you also might see maybe in famous images of someone meditating. But the idea is to connect the thumbs and cradle the hands like so. This also helps you focus and concentrate and connect more to the spiritual or the spirit of the universe, so to speak, or that higher sense of being. But it also helps balance all the elements of the universe. So when you do this, it helps you become balanced, balancing your being with everything around you, those 5 elements. All right, so you can actually use this hand mudra if you're feeling kind of out of balance, right? And I don't know about you, but I was out of balance drinking every day and out of balance at the beginning of the recovery. And even now at 13 years, I get a little out of balance. So what a wonderful way to come into balance with the universe. All right, so you can just sit like that, whether it's here, here, or here. The idea is then to breathe. Some people will close their eyes. Some people will gaze softly down and just connecting with that breath. All right, so the next hand signs I want to show you have to do with all the elements. And this is what I learned in my program, Yoga of Recovery. So let's talk about all the elements and I'll show you each hand mudra. So this is air, ether, earth, fire. You put your thumb here on that ring finger, water. Air, ether, earth, fire, water. So when you're meditating, or let's say you're trying to figure out, you heard something, a song lyric, or you saw a billboard, or you said, what is the universe or the God of my understanding trying to communicate? What does that sign mean? So a way to help kind of balance your spirit, be in a more receiving mode of information, is to connect kind of a mantra or a saying, some words with a hand sign or gesture. So it would go like this, and you could rest your hands as well. Air, ether, earth, fire, water. Inhale, air, ether, earth, fire, water. Air, ether, earth, fire, water. Right? So just this tapping and moving of those fingers to connect with all those elements can help you create balance or become more aware and listen to all the signs around you. All right, this last one, you could do this standing, but for the sake of the camera and the video, I'm going to stay seated. So it's the idea of starting with this hand mudra, but connecting it. This is that yin and yang energy as well as connecting with some of the chakras. But you actually draw the hands up. So this comes from Qigong and yoga. So you're coming past the heart chakra. And then when you get to the throat, you actually turn the hands and the thumbs down, and then you raise them up and sweep out and return. Then I like to pair it with the breath. Inhale through the nose, As you get to the voice or the throat chakra, exhale through the mouth. Then I try to become more balanced and put the other hand underneath. Helps balance, right, that energy through that corpus callosum in our brain. Inhaling past the heart, turning at the throat, and up and out we come. So one thing I love, and this is kind of my message of becoming non-anonymous, is the idea of what does that heart chakra stand for? That love and that kindness. And inhaling love and kindness, and then when you get to the voice, is using your voice or a gesture, right? To send that love and kindness out to the universe. Do you get that little hippie in me? Inhale love and kindness and send it out to the universe. And don't we need more love and kindness right out into the universe? All right, so those are just some lovely hand signals or signs or gestures that you can use to help kind of promote balance in your life and that idea of love and kindness. And so let's do part 2 now. So part 2, I want to talk about the AMA. So again, it was awareness, meaning, and action. So the first A, that awareness. Sometimes it's just becoming more aware of your surroundings so that you can see or hear the signs that are coming in. And I don't know about you, but when I was drinking, I swear I had blinders on, and the only sign I knew or the message I was getting, and Durga Leela taught me this, I was just hungry for more. And Dr. Gabor Mate, he talks about addiction being just a hunger for more. I want more. So in my recovery, I wanted more to my life. I wanted to know, how do I find out what I'm supposed to be doing now? And so the idea of becoming more aware, of looking around, seeing what's going on, and connecting with nature is one of the best ways God speaks to me, right? Is seeing, or billboards. Boy, I need a big old billboard as a sign. Don't give me a little one. I need a big message, a whack on the head. Sometimes it's something physical. And for me too, I got my Zach Williams ball cap on. I went to see him in concert. He speaks to me in his music. Jason Crabb, Jelly Roll, Christian artists, I don't know, their lyrics send me messages. And I think that's how God shows me the signs. And that M for meaning. The idea of the meaning, once you see a sign or hear something, and you kind of makes you go, huh. Sometimes you're not aware of the sign till later, and you go, I know what that meant, right? You make meaning out of that mess or that message. You find out later. Or sometimes it's instantaneous and it just hits you. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to say that. I'm supposed to see that person. I'm supposed to go there. Like this road trip. God gave me sign after sign, said, Lynn, get out there, get this message out there. And all these tips beyond the 12 steps. There's gotta be more. And that's what becoming non-anonymous is all about. So making meaning from those messages. So I was on one of my road trips to Florida, and I was driving, and it was right in the kind of that panhandle, right before Tallahassee. And maybe they call that the part of the Bible Belt. Don't know for sure. But I heard God say to me, Lynn, ask me, do you trust me? Because I didn't know where I was supposed to work or what I was supposed to do. And I'm like, God, give me a sign. You know, sometimes you need to ask for them, but then you need to see them, right? Be aware enough to see and hear them. And right then I passed a billboard, and it was huge, and it was Jesus, and it said, trust in Jesus. And I was like, whoa, he just asked me, Lynn, do you trust me? And there it was, a big billboard, trust in Jesus. Well, I didn't need much more than that. Even though Florida, the job didn't work out, I came back and said, okay, you wanted me to go down that path? Saw my old college roommate from Clemson, and that was the reason I went. Yes, it wasn't about the job, but later I came back. I ended up in Connecticut. Now I'm on my way back to Connecticut again to visit. So making meaning. So for me, the meaning was to find that awareness, that balance, to trust God with his plan for my life, even when it hurts, even when it doesn't work out. The meaning and the purpose will be revealed sometimes later. All right. And then the last A is action. And it does you no good to hear the sign or become aware of the sign or see the sign and then know what it kind of means or go, I better explore what that means, but then do nothing. Don't stop at the meaning. You got to take action even when you're scared. Do it afraid. Like I'm on the road all by myself, camping in my van, and I just know that God is protecting me. He wants me out here to take action. So I got a big sign on the side of my van now, and it's getting covered in stickers again. I got my Bentonville stickers today. And I'm taking action, and I am spreading his word and what recovery and the God of my understanding has done for me. Life beyond the steps. I've taken them. Now I need to step out and take action, right? And serve others and explore what being on this road trip for God. I am on it, and more meaning I'm sure will be revealed at that point. All right, I hope you got something out of what about the signs, the AMA, being aware, understanding the meaning, and then you gotta take some action. So until next time, make healing your destiny. I'll see you in Kentucky. Bye for now. Hope I can still get up from these rocks I'm sitting on and get on up here. Oh, before I do, I want to show you something. Look at what this says on the wall. Here's a sign. Enjoy the ride. See you later.